How is it going, everybody? My name is the Moon Man. I'm back with another episode, and this time I have my main man, Arktype. Over the course of these past couple of months, getting to know each other, we've really become friends. He's an amazing artist. He's an amazing person. He cares so dearly about this community that we're all invested in, and I really, really, really feel like you guys need to get to know who he is, and I'm so happy that we get to move into this future together and take this moon type legacy places that I don't think people are really knowing what this is going to become, and it's just such a fun time hanging out with him all the time. I know that was a long intro, so without further ado, I want you guys to get to know who Archetype is. Archetype, how are you doing today?
Hey, Moon Man. Wow, what an intro. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Really appreciate your time and excited to have a chat. I know we talk a lot during the week, but this is gonna be good. I'd like to have people hear a bit more about my story and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too crazy of a long intro, but yeah, no, I just really want people to, know who you are, because getting to know you more than just a couple of Twitter posts like they see from us, or just a couple of conversations we may make in Twitter spaces, I really want them to get to know the person that I know personally. And yeah, man, just give us a rundown on your background because it's pretty extensive. You're a family man, there's a lot of things that you do on the back end that the people don't know about, and you have a history that people don't know about them, and I really, really, really want them to know. So yeah, man, the platform is yours. I now will be quiet and take it away, my man.
Um, yeah, so I guess you guys could see me as sort of this artist in this space. But yeah, there's a bit more going on in the background. Yeah, I'm a family man. I got two young little kiddies that occupy a lot of my time, but which I'm so grateful for. Yeah, and they keep me busy as well as the artwork, as well as my day job. Um, I'm a 3D designer uh, during the day and an artist at night, and yeah, that sort of occupies most of my time.
And how did you get into, well, let's take it back. How did you first get into drawing and realize that you had like an artistic gift? How did that come about, and how did you discover that talent?
Uh, I guess I sort of owe everything to my dad. He's an amazing artist. Something I keep saying, but I need to share more of his stuff. And I think I got a plan of how to do that. But yeah, he's a very accomplished portrait artist. He does like amazing oil paintings, like life size, um, photorealistic, like every single hair and wrinkle, that kind of stuff. And he was the stay-at-home parent. Just the way that my mom and my dad, their occupations sort of worked out, that he was the stay-at-home dad, and it just meant that he was always there for me. And yeah, big shoes to fill because I'm sort of look up to him as to how I need to be a father. But yeah, he really showed me the way. He taught me everything, like all the fundamentals with art. Anytime I needed anything, he would just drop what he was doing and just be there to teach and to mentor and give me the fundamentals of art and to give me that passion.
Hmm.
Um, he would often be sort of working away on one of his projects, one of his paintings, and I would just not necessarily have to come in and talk, but just to come and be in his presence and to sit and sketch or draw or to copy what he was doing. And it's funny because my little dude does the same thing now. Like he comes and pulls up a chair next to me, and he's sketching out the Moon Man and Archetype, and he's doing his own little drawings of like Star Atlas stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool to see that. But yeah, that was my start. He taught me like all the fundamentals. I definitely can't paint anything like what he does. I mainly just have my own sort of style and my own niche. It's a little like it's very different to what he does.
Hmm.
But definitely he's the one that that brought that out in me. And yeah, I enjoyed it for a long time when I was young. I sort of got disheartened quite a bit, sort of later in my teens and in my early 20s, just with like school. Uh, I flunked art school basically when I was in high school. I got kicked out. Didn't get along with the art teacher.
Yeah.
Just went off it for a number of years until, yeah, maybe mid 20s. I picked it up again and
Hmm.
started selling my own artwork. I had a few items in some little boutique skate shops and started selling some framed prints and original artwork in cafes and stuff like that. And yeah, that's sort of
Hell
been
yeah.
my journey for a little while there until I started traveling, and then I couldn't really do much of that anymore. But I still kept creating, still kept sketching out ideas, and uh, yeah, it's only been recently that I've picked it back up again.
Hell yeah, man. No, your artwork is phenomenal, and I love that you you know, are really just helping bring to life, your own character as well as the Moon Man and giving him a different flavor and style for the world to see. And I want to keep going into, just your art history and stuff. Like, what is it about art that you love so much, and what styles of art are really your favorite? Because we all see your style, and I've seen so much of it, but what's your love for art? What does it mean to you, and what are some of your other favorite styles out there in the world?
Yeah, well, it's really just an escape. Like, I think I'd still do it even if people weren't looking at it or buying it or anything like that. It's just my happy place, and I'm normally like a very solitude person. That's where I sort of find my peace, is
Hmm.
just being by myself. And so I would just be trying to have that escapism, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
When I was younger, it was always like get a new album, um, go into the bedroom, like put that on and just like headphones or fill the room with music and just like sit there and like look at the album artwork and like try and copy some of it, or like just sketch up some ideas. And it was just so transportational, like it would just take me into another dimension, and it would just allow me to just completely clear my thoughts. And yeah, I still do that with my artwork. I still just escape with music and just go into another world. Um, and that's just my de-stress. That's my happy place.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. There's a lot of people in this world that need that de-stress, or they need that, you know, almost like a breakaway universe for themselves, but they just don't have it because maybe they haven't searched hard enough to find what their talent is, or they just haven't found their thing in life. And the fact that you've been able to find that, and you found that at an early age, through your dad, being into art is just a really amazing thing. It's absolutely beautiful.
So you mentioned art styles. So uh, I just started copying stuff really. Like I knew the style that I liked, and so I would just try and learn that style by just copying it. And I would pick up different techniques that I would see people doing, like um, the thickness of the lines, the way that they bent, the way that they would do like a highlight on something or a shadow, like the way that they would do details in an eye or the curvature of a nose or the way that they did lips. Yeah, I'd just start there, and then if there was something that I liked about that, I would just onboard it and just sort of like take that small little section that I liked and just mash it. And eventually, like I had this collage of different techniques that I loved, but it was still my own. It was still different because it was just a tiny little details from each one, and then compiled into my own sort of style. And I think that that's where I started, was just, yeah, being able to see how people build stuff, how they go about creating things. I love doing, like, I will
Hmm.
look at things and my mind just has to start thinking about how it was created or how it was built. I'll walk into a room and there'll be a piece of furniture and I'll be thinking about how I would go about making that thing. Or I'd go into a public space and like a shopping center or something like
Mhm.
that, and I'd start to think about how they would build it and how they would fit it out and finish it off. I just love seeing how things are put together, and that's just what my mind does, is just breaks it down into its raw elements, and then I get a better understanding of things.
Yeah, so you see it's really cool that you literally see the world in like a dimension slash angle slash, shadows and, like just the perspective of everything when you look at it. That's really, really dope. And the other thing that I was going to bring up, that I was thinking about earlier was we had talked before and you told me about, well, I had brought up to you, I was like, do you like have a black book or anything like that? Like, give us the history on that. And you were like, dude, I do. I have a notebook. I don't know if you call it a black book. I know in like graffiti, they call it like, the black book and stuff like that. But tell us about that because like that's so dope for people to hear this. Um
Yeah, yeah. So I have like a little sketchbook. It's not so little, but I I have like a real scrappy one that I'll just like throw out ideas and
Mhm.
scrunch up paper and all that sort of thing. But when I have something that's just so clear and defined in my mind, I'll sketch it into that book. And so I really savor the pages because it's been with me for probably 10, 15 years now. Um, so I have like quite a collection of drawings, and that's what I go back to. Like often I'll have sort of writer's block, and because I haven't done anything for a little while, and I'll go back through there and I'll go through all my ideas and designs that I've had, and it'll just sort of ignite that passion for me again. Um, and that's where the the archetype character came from, when we
Mhm.
did the Moon Man and Archetype NFT designs. So like, yeah, I took inspiration from your character, and I was thinking about what I wanted to do for mine, and I remembered this book and went back through it, and yeah, there was this space chimp, and I was like, maybe I could bring that back to life, and uh, it came from that book. Um, and I remember sketching that when I was traveling. I did a bit of travel um, a little while ago, where I was living in some pretty remote places, living up in some villages in northern Thailand, and I didn't have a computer to design on. I just had my little book to sketch in, and uh, yeah, a lot of those sketches and designs just bring me back to that time and place of where my mind was at, and what part of my journey my life was on, and it's almost like a diary or a journal, but just in visual form. I can look at a picture and just know exactly how I was thinking or feeling at that time.
Yeah, isn't that the beautiful thing about for me it's always like colognes and smells will bring me back to certain times. Music brings me back to certain times. Um and that's amazing that artwork does that for you. We all have our thing that kind of is like a time capsule, right? And art does that for you. That's amazing because you can see it through your artwork. And I just first here want to say, if I haven't already said it multiple times, like, yo, the space chimp archetype, like this is dope. Like, I don't care what anybody else says, like, and what anybody else in the future creates. Like, this is a sick ass character. Like, this dude is boss. You know, it's a sick image. I love this. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I'm excited to bring it to life with what we have coming up. I think like a flat image, it's great. Like I love the look of it,
Mhm.
but there's so much story to come out with that. So yeah, excited to bring him into the metaverse, so to speak.
And he's just you're just cool as hell. Like, like the whole thing is just super, super cool what you got going on. Like it's just like it's a cool guy. Like, you're a cool guy. Archetype Space Chimp is a cool guy. I mean, like it all just is it's super, super cool. It's dope. As some would say, right? Um, so let's dive into, where do you draw inspiration and creativity from? Um, Obviously, it's just a world around you, but like, what is? what is something maybe you could put a finger on that's like it just gives you motivation every single day to, just be inspired to do, art and such things like that? That's an okay question. It makes sense.
Yeah. Um, so my day job is very, I guess you'd say clinical. Like it's,
Hmm.
um, 1 + 1 = 2, and this is the space that you have to design in, and it needs to fit, and these parts need to go together, and it has to function, and it has to work, and um, that is something that I do enjoy. It's like a real challenge. It's a puzzle. It's problem solving. It's all that sort of stuff, and I would consider myself very good at what I do in that sense, but it's not as free as when you have just a blank piece of paper in front of you and you can just create whatever you want. Um, and that's what I love about it. It's just that freedom. And um, you can start again and scribble it and scrunch it up and throw it away. You can just not feel it some days. You can just
Hmm.
try to knock out a drawing and it's just not happening. And so you've just got to get your headspace right. And it's when you're completely like in that moment is when you do your best work. And until I get to that point, I'm not creating my best. And so it challenges me to just be at peace. And sometimes that can take hours and days and weeks to get into that right feel. I can be in a funk for a long time, but once I get into that mood, everything just flows. Like it just, um, I'm more peaceful. I'm better person to deal with. Like,
Hmm.
it just totally changes my vibe, and I just hit that sweet spot. I'm good when I'm drawing. I'm good outside, like family life and things like that, and just everything
Hmm.
starts to flow. And that's what I love, and that's what I need to get more into. And yeah, like that's why I'm pursuing this art thing, is because uh, it would be just amazing to be able to do this full time and to stay in that flow and to stay in that vibe. Because I know that if I went full time, I would be just producing so much content, so much artwork, um, and just continually improving rather than stopping and starting each day.
Right. And you do have we've talked about it before. I don't know, sorry. I don't know how much the public knows, but you do have a history in 3D design and marketing and branding. And I've seen some of your animation work. I mean, the people have kind of seen it with the NFT drop that we did, but I've seen some things on the back end that you've showed me, and you are top tier when it comes to animation and things like that. And you really have a skill. So um, definitely let tell the people about the marketing, the branding, the animation, and the 3D scope of skills that you have. Go into a little bit about that stuff, because these people are going to see it, but you guys all got to hear it though too first before you see it. I think that's most important.
Yeah.
you know
So I just want to like start by saying like I'm not qualified in any of these things. I just do them. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
just want to learn. And I think experience is everything. And that's what I've always tried to do. Like we're all made up of the same flesh, the same parts. Everyone's got the same eyes, ears, nose, mouth, head, brain, all that sort of stuff. And so if someone else can learn it, like I got the same ingredients like going on. Like I can learn it too. It's just about putting in the time and effort. And so um, that's just the way I've applied myself with everything in life. I'm not a graphic designer by trade. I'm not qualified for that. I'm not an animator or a video editor or a social media person. I'm not a 3D designer, and yet that's what I do for my profession. Like, I work for a very large um, luxury yacht company, and they employ me solely to do like interior design and 3D modeling, and yet I never went to university. It's just the way like I think the world is changing now. It's about your application. It's in the things that you do. It's about your experience. And I've always set out to do that. Like even from the beginning, the one qualification I do have is I'm a cabinet maker and furniture maker.
Hmm.
But even when I was doing my apprenticeship, like I would always like go up to the tradespeople that I was learning from and say, if you guys have got some projects going on at home, or cash work that you're doing on the weekend, I will literally come and work for free. I just want to learn. And it's yeah, it's something that I've tried to teach as well, like living overseas, and employing people and young people and teaching them, it's not about a university degree anymore. It's just about application.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think I think that, not to cut in, but I think that speaks volumes about your personality and who you are as a person. I think those that are open minded and willing to learn and humble themselves and do such things like that are the ones that actually excel in life. And I think that's why we get along so well and why we it's just a natural friendship because we are both that same way. And there's tons of times where I'm asking you like, yo, is the way I'm doing this cool? Is the way that I'm doing this cool? And it just goes back and forth and it's vice versa. And it just is, it's just a way to go. And your personality really speaks volumes and it bleeds through you that you are that type of person. And the other thing that I want to say is I think that's the type of world that, like you said, we are moving into because me personally, if I were to be some big old CEO and I wanted to hire somebody, or if I wanted to, employ somebody, diplomas and certificates and all these things are great on paper, but I'm always, this is just me, I'm always going to be like, if you just bring work to the table and the work is super stellar, and I could care less what your education was or what your training was, you're bringing me actual amazing, beautiful art results, this, that, and the third, and that's what I would personally go off of. Um, so yeah, I mean, qualified, you may not think you're qualified, but I fully think you're qualified to do anything in this world. And yeah, I'm backing you all the way. But yeah, not to cut you off. Go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to put that in there.
no, thanks, man. Yeah, yeah. I guess like a good example is like so I lived in Cambodia for a number of years, and I employed a couple of young guys from a home that we were running for disadvantaged youth, and we employed some of these guys, and some didn't work out, but there was a few there that were just keen. Like they had no experience, but they were just keen, and those are the guys I focused on. And like it was funny because they were like, "Oh, I can give you a resume," and it's like I don't care about your resume.
Right.
um, and then yeah, one of the guys that was working for me for a number of years, when I eventually like moved back to Australia and sort of closed up everything, I always said to him, like working for me is not the dream. Like this is step one. Um, and you're gonna go on to do bigger and better things. And yeah, just like said to them, like, what do you want to do when you leave here, like working for me? Um, and like, do you want to work for somebody? Or do you want to work for yourself? And one of these guys, he's like, I've got no qualifications, but I wanna do my own thing. And
Hmm.
so he set up a design company, and he's like, dude, he's picking up jobs, like minimum branding jobs for like 6 grand. He's got a team of people. Like this guy's in his early 20s.
Damn.
No qualification, just like when he came working for me, he was like fresh out of high school, didn't finish uni.
Hmm.
Um, he's even doing like ads for Google for their type font. Like he's a mad designer with type font. And that's like just such a good example of this day and age, because the youth in that country, like in Cambodia, they would spend like money that they don't have and just working and grinding to do a university degree, and they would come out of it as engineers and architects, and there's no jobs for them, and they would literally go and work in uh, like cafes and restaurants and stuff for like $90 US a month, like
It's crazy.
as their salary. Like, and these are qualified guys, these are smart people, hardworking. And so I just think that that model is dying out of going and just getting in debt and going to university. And I think that people care more about your experience and your portfolio and what you have to show. your your work ethic and your enthusiasm. And so that's, yeah,
Yeah,
that's just my model of everything.
I think that's going to be one of the factors of the collapse of the US's, economy is college debt and uni debt, right? You said uni, that's cool. I love how you guys got those cool little slang words. And yeah, I just think that's going to play a big factor into the ongoing debt that the nation keeps on or the country keeps on racking up and so on and so forth. Anyways, uh, but yeah, man, I just think it's there's so many people out there that are qualified for jobs and they don't need to show a resume, right? The resume is actually what they're bringing to the table. It doesn't have to be that piece of paper. Um, and so yeah, let's keep diving into just your traveling history, because like you said, Cambodia and Thailand, and what got you into this, traveling around the world. How did this all start? Is it something that you and your family always did, or was it just life and you had to kind of do that? You tell me.
Um, yeah, I think my family had a big role for that adventurous spirit. And my parents, when I was about, I think, 12 years old, just was
Hmm.
like, sick of this. Let's just sell the house and go
Yeah.
travel. And so they sold they sold the house. Like, that would have been worth a fortune right now, but they just gave
Hmm.
it up for experience as a family, like for us to have those memories. It's like such a huge sacrifice, because now, like, they are by no means like rich. They could have been, but they just did all that for us. And so I spent a year just traveling around Australia, and I got to see everything. And that really gave me that adventurous spirit. And then I got caught in that same trap of just a rat race of working and trying to pay off a mortgage. And I found myself like late 20s in a relationship that didn't work out, with a house, with debt, with all these sorts of things. And I was just like, you know what? I've gotten too far away from who I really am, and I need to get out and travel. Um, when I was 15 and I was in school and I was thinking about what I wanted to do with my life. I remember seeing like a show on people that went overseas and just like built houses and hospitals and things like that. And I just was like, yeah, that's what I want to do with my life. And I forgot that vision. Like, I did a trade as I mentioned, like cabinet maker and furniture maker,
Hmm.
because I wanted to learn those skills so that I could go over and do that. And I just got distracted. And 12 years later, I just sort of woke up and went, hang on a sec, like, I had that dream, like, and I'm not happy with my life now. Like, I need to get out of this situation, and I need to go and do that. And it took me sort of 2 years to finally get um, in a situation where I could quit my job and have a little bit of money to go travel. And so, yeah, that's what I did. I through a friend of a friend, found a girls' orphanage or girls' home in northern Thailand. And
Hmm.
I just contacted the guy and was just like, hey, like, I just want to come and volunteer and um, work my ass off and work for free. But yeah, I just want to be there and just contribute. And he's Australian, and so he was coming back to Australia that week, which was
Hmm.
pretty crazy. And so I got to meet with him and have coffee, and um, we just vibed, and he could sense that I had good intentions, and invited me to come out there. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I got my start. I was living in northern Thailand in a small village at a children's home, and just volunteering and teaching, and got to build a build a couple of stuff and kids playground. And yeah, it was just, that was the start of it, really. Like,
Damn, that's amazing. That's dope. I love that. Excuse me. Yeah, that's crazy. And right place, right time in the universe. He was Australian, and so that, that built that connection, or just that, you know, um, yeah, that connection, and that's super cool, man. It's just amazing, what you do on the back end for people, and that a lot of people don't see. And there's so many things that I probably don't know about and don't see, right? And then let's talk about what you've got going on with like wanting to build up this ship wallet. I don't know if you want to talk about
Oh
that,
yeah.
but that's a pretty cool thing that you're looking to do in the future, and you're in the process of doing right now.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, like I've just set up a wallet. I was fortunate enough to win some of these giveaways through Star Atlas and other people in the
Hell
space.
yeah.
Final Frontier and has contributed with that as well. And so I've just taken everything that I've been blessed with and put it into a wallet, and I contribute to that as well from my main stash, I guess you'd say. Um, and I'm just trying to look at building it into something that could be bigger than myself. Like, I would love someone um, to sort of like hear that and want to partner with that and to turn it into something much bigger. But you start with what you've got, and at the moment, I'm just compounding things this year, and I think the plan is next year. Hopefully, I can start giving like a regular amount to sort of scrape funds from that each week without it depleting, without it going down, but just be able to take the profits and to be able to give to charities like in real life, and do more things that can sort of help build it, whether that's you know NFT sales or promotions or um, community events or something where people can also contribute
Right.
and get involved. So it's not just about me giving. I don't I don't like to sort of publicize the things that I do in that sense when it comes to money. Certainly, if
Right.
I'm giving of my time and I think that it can um, shine a spotlight on something that someone else is doing, like I'll promote it. Um, but yeah, that's just my ethos. That's just what I believe in. But yeah, definitely. I would like to see donations to some of the projects that I've been involved with and that are personal to me, like like what I mentioned, the children's home in northern Thailand, or I spent 5 years in Cambodia. I've got a lot of connections there with people that I care dearly that are doing just amazing work and that need the recognition and need the support. So um, I would like to be known more more f- more of more known from the things that I do in that space than the artwork.
Yeah.
So if that gives you any sense of what I'm trying to achieve here, I think the artwork is certainly something that will build and that I want to be known for, but I hope that the humanitarian and um, philanthropy sort of work takes over from that, and that I can um, be more vocal in that space.
Yeah, man. I think you're just an amazing spirit, and a beautiful person, and I think that you have a lot to offer to the world, and I'm super super glad that I get to call you a friend, and I'm super super glad that we just mesh so well, and the future's super bright for the both of us, I think. And you know I think we both know what we can become as individuals and believing in ourselves, but it's really cool that we both believe in each other. And if there's ever times in the future when it comes to like, because look, man, we all get down on our shit sometimes, you know what I mean? But just continuing to push forward, and making sure we always are on our A game is fun to do by yourself. But when you have somebody that you can do that with, I think that's even a lot more enjoyable, and we get to enjoy all the future successes that we um I know that I know we are going to achieve. We get to do that together, and I think that's something that's just super super dope. And that's why I love doing these Moon Man experiences and having conversations with people. But I really really appreciate this one, and it's going to be really really fun to look back in the future, and listen to this after so many different accomplishments that come over the next coming years and decades. I think it's just going to be really really cool to look back and be like, yo, we were so young during that time, and man, we had so many different visions, and look what we've achieved today, and such things like that. Speaking as if it was us talking in the future. I think it's just going to be really cool. I think it's going to be really dope. Um,
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I can't wait to get to that point too. But you're the same as me. Like you're just enjoying this experience and enjoying the journey and the people that you meet along the way. And yeah, that's what I love. The people that I've met in this space, the collaboration that I've had with you, Moon Man. Um, it's just genuine people. Like, and we're gonna meet so many new faces, and so many more people are gonna come into this space, and
Hmm.
the friendships just are gonna grow, and it's gonna be it's gonna be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, it's going to be super cool. Um, I just don't think there's, you know, what am I trying to say? I just don't think there's a matched duo in the space that's gonna, um and now here comes in a little bit of the competitiveness. We're just a nasty collaboration, and I think we're gonna do some really, really cool things. And it's funny, just today, literally we were talking with two others that's we've got something in the plans and in the works for you guys. And I think it's gonna be really, really cool because this is something that has been done by individuals, but it's a different type of genre, but it's never been done by a group in this space. Maybe by other individuals that I've seen, like one, two, or three, but never as a group. And I'm kind of just hinting at what's happening, and not going to even get the scope of anything. But that's about all I'll say. And it's just going to be really, really cool. What's the next thing that's happening? Um, but now that we've definitely um talked about who you are, and I feel like um you really went into depth, and that was good. Let's talk about this Moontype legacy that we're building out. Let's shine some light on that. What's your thoughts on it? And yeah, let's hear your take on it, man.
Um, yeah, I just think it's given so much more volume to our characters just to be able to collaborate. And I think if I
Hell
was
yeah.
doing this on my own, I wouldn't have had the feedback that I've had just having you as a soundboard, and just to spit ideas to, and just to get your thoughts. And you know, developing a character is fun, but it's kind of two-dimensional until you start to bring out the storyline and have that character interact with other characters. And yeah, since the inception of this idea of this archetype character, just the ideas just expanded so much, and what people are seeing is just step one. What you're seeing is the things that Moonman and I were talking about, like January of this year, and we're into March. We've had so much that we've been doing on the back end, and developing, and ideas, and things like that. So yeah, like there's just too much too much that we want to talk about that we can't at this stage. But it's exciting to see that our characters have just blended so well that they're gonna blend into different storyline, and just come to life. And that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, 100%. I think I would say the same on all that. It's just it's really cool because I wanted to do this Moon Man thing with the Moon Man costumes. Everybody's like Moon Man, Moon Man, Moon Man. So then I had to, I just dove into this whole persona, and I didn't know what it was going to be. I usually just jump into a pit of ideas and imaginations without actually having a structured plan, and then I just learn on the fly. And that's kind of what happened with this thing. And I knew it made sense for that everybody was going to sooner or later be doing this, but now it's even cooler to, instead of just having seeing others from afar do it, when it comes to building out a persona and character and such things like that in the 3D world, 2D world. It's just much cooler to have somebody to be your friend, and you get to do it with them, and it's like, oh, this isn't just you know a quick collabo. No, this is like, yo, there's really no Archetype without Moon Man, and there's no Moon Man without Archetype, and like
Mm.
that's gonna be like the cool tag team, and I feel like that shit is fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, like we've each got our character, and we're gonna be doing things separately, but like you've got your interviews and your social persona and stuff like that, and I've
Hmm.
got my artwork and things, but it's just cool when you see these two characters combine. It's sort of like Power Rangers coming together.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Um, when you start seeing these people in this space like collaborating, and um, it's just like a force multiplier. And I think that the people love to see that too. Um, that when we come together, we're going to create something like pretty awesome, and not just us, but yeah, hopefully some other characters in the future will come together and contribute to that. And yeah, I won't say any more than that.
Yeah, I really hope people get on the train and realize what's going on here, and we can all come up together. That's a PSA to everybody. Get on this. you know. Because that Ready Player One future, man, it's coming, and it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty
Yeah,
cool. And it's funny
yeah.
because like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if anyone's out there listening to this and they're thinking of doing something like this, bringing out a character or just playing with the idea, reach out to myself and Moonman. Like, we want to encourage people in this space, and we're trying to lead the way. We're trying to like go out in front and sort of do by trial and error, and hopefully we can save you from some of the trials and just sort of fast
Hmm.
forward you in this space and just help you with what you want to do. But yeah,
Correct.
please go on.
Yeah, correct. And yeah, I don't know. I think the future is really, really cool. And it's just I feel like things are moving fast, and it's pretty crazy. I feel like things are moving fast. And yeah, I think I don't know. It's just a really cool future that's happening here, and I'm just really excited to be a part of all this. And the Star Atlas community is super, super cool. Shout out to everybody. You guys are just the best, and yeah, I just think life is cool, and you know, I'm just happy that we all found you know Star Atlas, and I'm just glad that the idea popped into somebody's brain, and then they shared it to somebody else, and then shared it to somebody else, and then they started building out Star Atlas. I don't know who had the first thought of it and who they told first, and but yeah, I'm just glad that it turned into something, because a seed was planted, an idea seed was planted, and then it turned into all of this, and now there's so many of us that are finally feeling like we're doing something that we all love, and we're allowed to showcase our talents, and everybody's just able to be their best self. And I just think it's really, really dope. I just think it's really, really dope.
Yeah, it's been a huge blessing to have a platform like this, and shout out to
Excuse me.
Swags and the team for just creating this open canvas. And we haven't really even been able to step in and stretch our legs with all this. It's just all been done, in the Twitter and Discords. But imagine the creativity once we step into these metaverse spaces and really find our own space and
Right.
expand out.
For sure. Definitely. I couldn't agree more. Um, but yeah, man, you know, I just appreciate that you took the time out to, talk with me today. And I seriously, flowers. I'm throwing freaking truckloads of flowers at you, because you're just doing amazing things and helping me take the Moon Man to the next level, and everything that you've done with the artwork, and all the things that we plan to do in the future, and in so many different avenues that incorporate artwork, and then also just things like this where it's actually us just talking. It's not art. I mean, I guess it is art of the art of conversation, but just on so many different levels that you're you're allowing me to become, you know, w- you know, um, what am I trying to say here? It allows for me to just express myself in different ways. You provide those opportunities. So I just really appreciate it, man. I just really, really, really appreciate it. And I'm always forever grateful for, just all the hard work that you put in to help me build out my what I'm trying to build here. And I hope I could do, a percentage of that for you. And yeah, man, this
Yeah,
is
no,
cool shit.
that's like me investing this time and doing all this sort of stuff, like you're putting in the time as well. And I think that's just my way of saying, like, dude, I believe in your vision, that what you have for the Moon Man. I don't look at where you're at now. I hear the words you're saying about where you want to go to, and that's what I think of when I think of the Moon Man, is that end goal. And me putting in the time and effort, that's just me saying, dude, I believe in you, and when you spit those words of fire, like I can feel the passion, and
Yeah, I've been
I
pretty. I'm just laid back, kind of just chilling this interview because I'm enjoying this conversation. But yeah, I do get crazy hypes up. I'm sorry, everybody.
no, it's good. um yeah, it just excites me, and I just want to encourage and see you succeed. I just love seeing people with a passion and a vision, and I just want to get in and support and do whatever I can to make that happen. If someone else can succeed, and I've been able to do like even a fraction of that to help towards, like,
Yeah.
it just makes me happy to be involved and to help a friend. And you're going to make it regardless of any input that I have. I believe in that 100%. But um yeah, just to know that I'm there, I believe in you, and I just want to be along for the ride too.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate that. And look, man, it sounds weird for me to say this, like I want to do those exact same things for you. Like if there's any way that I can help and whatever skills that I have and whatever things that I can bring to the table, and whatever things that I do in life that end up helping you, you know what I mean? That's literally all I'm here for as well, is because I I personally just love seeing people be their best self and giving the motivation to them and uplifting them and giving them their flowers. And I just want to see you excel. And I think that you have so many, so many, so many talents that the world has yet to even discover or see. And I just want the world to recognize you for who you are and all the things that you bring to the table into this universe. And I think there needs to be, um, more people with the same mindset and same love and same heart that you bring to the universe. And I think I think at the beginning you mentioned that everybody has like the same ingredients and stuff like that. I think to like a heart, a organ, a hand, a finger, a head, a brain. I think to that aspect, everybody, has the same things. Um, but I think when it comes to ingredients and DNA, I think that there are a few that have special ingredients and special DNA. And I think you're one of those people that have, the mix of the special and, you know, superstar DNA. And I think that's the shit that you got. So everybody, might be have the same structures and physical structures and things like that. Well, they don't actually, but you get what I'm saying. Either way, when it comes down to that inner DNA and that things like that, you got something going on there. And I think you're a flavor of the week that is not common. Boom. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the words. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that other than thank you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate this interview, and um, looking forward to the next journey with you.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I think we're gonna you know take it out as take it um you know I don't know what the hell I'm saying, y'all. I'm just so mellow and cool and just enjoying this conversation. Anyways, here's what I do know. Let me turn up a little bit. I do know that me and Archetype are going to continue to crush it. We're super ambitious, and we really want to give you guys the coolest stuff you've ever seen in this damn metaverse. I'm going to tone it down. But I do appreciate everybody listening, and I really, really hope that you made it through to the end. And if maybe not today, you're hearing this 5 years from now, and you made it through to the end to figure out what the hell we are thinking and doing and saying back, right now in this time, right? But either way, I just really appreciate you, Archetype, and thank you so much. And yeah, man, let the people know anything that you want to let them know. Um, that you want to let, yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, no, nothing really. Just appreciate everyone that's supported so far, and hoping to find more people out there that enjoy what I'm putting out there. And yeah, if you've got anything that you want to reach out and collaborate with, or advice or thoughts or discussion on anything, like I'm approachable. Just come hit me up, and I just want to make more friends in this space.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Same. So I do just want to say thank you, Archetype, and also thank you to everybody that supports what we do. And, I promise this is going to be a fun adventure for us all. Join us on the journey of the Moontype legacy. It's going to be a fun one. And yeah, man, you just heard another episode of the Moonman Experience. And I love you guys. I love everybody. And we're out of here, y'all. I'll see you on the next one.